one of 2020's newest IPs and greatest games, just got its second DLC. And it's pretty good. Doesn't move the needle, but it's more greatness from Immortals Fenyx Rising. Let's get into it. Before we kick this video off, I want to give a special thank you and shout out to Ubisoft for providing the review code. In this one, we're going to be talking about the DLC known as Myths of the Eastern Realm, which is going to be covering a new character, not Fenyx, but a new character, a new land, and generally a lot of new aesthetics overall. A lot of the same gameplay, and in many ways you could say it's very much more of an extension of the core game than it is entirely original DLC, but we're going to be diving into all that and more. Before we do all that, I am Mekel Kasanova, Hawaii content creator, host of Hawaii's #1 podcast, the Kasanova Podcast. I stream every single week on twitch.tv/Mekel Kasanova, so catch me over there. And if you haven't already and you've gotten this far, make sure you sub to the channel, ding the notification bell, that way you stay up to date on all the latest and greatest content that comes from this channel. With all that out of the way, let's go ahead and get into Myths of the Eastern Realm DLC for Immortals Fenyx Rising. Myths of the Eastern Realm is heavily inspired by Chinese mythology with a dash of Japanese mythology and a setting where the balance between earth and heaven has been broken, with humanity being turned into clay. We're introduced to the new protagonist named Ku, who, like Fenyx, is the only survivor who seeks out the goddess known as Nuwa, whom is the creator of all living things, in order to undo the devastation brought about with the clay catastrophe. Gameplay-wise, Ku is separated from Fenyx by proxy of starting the game with the bulk of his skills being upgraded already. The biggest difference is Ku cannot be configured to be female. Ku is by default, by proxy of the story, only male. Which, in a way, if we're talking about having all the skills being available from the start, from a logical standpoint, it makes sense given the fact that if you've gotten to being able to play this DLC, then that means you spent a large length of time in the core title. Then you would be used to having the majority of your moveset available and be ready and wanting to have Ku have at least half of his moves available. Nearly everything Fenyx was able to do, from sprint attacking, parry counters, mid-air bow shooting, mid-air slowdown, bow shooting, dodge strings, enemy launching, and more, is all readily available to Ku. The one glaring omission is the fact that Ku doesn't have any original moves of his own and can be seen as a palette swap of Fenyx. There's the newly named Constellation Puzzles called Bagua Puzzles. However, they are exactly the same and offer the same types of rewards that you would find in the main game. The design of the puzzles don't really differ from the main game, so don't really expect much there either. To be honest, a lot of this DLC is comprised of reused assets and character reuse, as many of the newer characters are basically reskins of ones from the main game, which, it isn't entirely a bad thing when you have such a phenomenal game to begin with. But all in all, this DLC doesn't really go above and beyond, and in many ways feels like a parsed down version of the main game. The characters don't really carry the story as strongly as the ones in the core game, which is sad considering how strong the writing was, which made the characters amazing. You just aren't getting that here, even though they try to be just as engaging. The one area of the game where it doesn't disappoint is the visuals, as the game is absolutely stunning in this new environment with all of its aesthetics. The topography of the new area is truly breathtaking. You'll see towering pagodas and temples, gushing waterfalls, bamboo forests, and hands down the most beautiful, vibrant moon that I've ever seen in a video game in my 30+ years of gaming. Immortals Fenyx Rising, Myths of the Eastern Realm, while beautiful to look at, is ultimately an expansion that doesn't move the needle forward and doesn't make much, if any, effort to stand on its own. Given the beautiful Chinese aesthetics, this is still just a smaller reskin of the main game that many sunk their teeth into already. You'll honestly get a strong sense of been there, played that when it comes to this DLC, and it's roughly 8-hour length. If you're looking for something compelling, then look elsewhere. But if you're in the mood for some more of this new franchise that just dropped last year and you just want to go back and just lose yourself, then you cannot go wrong in diving into this DLC. And that's it. And that's the review for Immortals Fenyx Rising, Myths of the Eastern Realm. Again, thank you to Ubisoft for providing the review copy so that I can cover this game. And yeah, what do you guys think? Do you guys have this DLC? Did you like the first DLC more? Did you get the season pass? Whatever your thoughts are, let's get the conversation going in the comment section below. If you want to take the conversation further, we do have Discord, so feel free to hop in there. And if you've gotten this far and you haven't already, make sure you sub to the channel, hit the like button, ding the notification bell, that way you stay up to date on all the latest and greatest content that comes from this channel. With that being said, I'm Mekel, Kasanova, Hawaii content creator, host of Hawaii's #1 podcast, the Kasanova Podcast. I stream every single week on twitch.tv/Mekel Kasanova, so catch me over there. And with all that out of the way, I will catch you on the next one. Deuces wild, too sweet, be the elite. I'll see you on the next one. Peace. Mahalo for making it to the end of the video. I really appreciate your support by those of you who like the videos, who watch them, who subscribe. And for those of you who are my Patreon supporters, thank you for your continued support because you help make this possible. If you enjoy my work and you'd like to support what we do have Patreon on patreon.com/Mekel Kasanova. We also have Coffee as well as Subscribestar. So there's various methods if you want to support the work that we do here. We also have channel membership, so make sure you check that out. That way you get up to date on all the latest and greatest content that comes here, and first, and exclusive content as well. And if you enjoy the work that I do and you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel. So with that being said, I'm Mekel Kasanova, Hawaii content creator. I hope to see you on the next one. If you haven't already, make sure you hit the subscribe button and ding the notification bell. And all that being said, I'll see you on the next one. Peace.